Well, February is Black History Month. This is an important month for the community. For those who don't know why it's so important, why is Black History Month such an important time?
Well, it's not just about Black History Month, it's about Black history altogether. And we want to make sure that we are recognized, that we are a part of Canadian history, part of history on a whole. And because a lot of our schools don't have it in our curriculum, we took it upon ourselves to be able to disseminate that information to all those who are wanting to understand more about where we come from, how we've shaped Canada's history, and who we are as a people.
So, Black History Month itself has a lot of events planned. Tell us about some of those events that we as a community can check out.
So we have a lot of events going on, and we want to touch base on all these different organizations that are having things going on in February. We've got events at the schools, at the universities. We also partner with some community organizations. So this weekend, we've got a movie night with the Afro-Caribbean Association of Manitoba. The Jamaican Association of Manitoba has their Black History Month luncheon, which happens on Sunday, February 11th. And then next week, we've got an event at the Legislative Building. We have the MTC, Royal MTC will be having the mountaintop performance will be starting their run on the 15th. And we have a history lesson on the Monday holiday. We've got the Jets game on the 20th. We have our closing ceremonies on March 2nd. We've got networking events with our young people, and we have a networking event with our adults on the 24th and 25th. So we've got a lot of things going on.
This is just a great way to even just get the conversation rolling when it comes to Black history.
Correct. Yes, that's a great way to put it because we sometimes those conversations are not easy to have, but we want to make sure that people are having them because they are important.
When it comes to Black history, what is one of the most important things that you feel that the community, that Winnipeg should know about?
We should know about the history of how we affect Canada and Canada's growth. The recommendation that we have to the schools to say, you know what, part of our history is Canadian history, and as much as all the other aspects of history is important, we sometimes get overlooked, or our stories are told by others who don't actually know what our story is. So they whitewash sometimes over some of the things that are important. Some of the things are uncomfortable to have those conversations about, but it is important to talk about it so that we know where we came from and how to fix and how to improve on where we're going.
So when it comes to the curriculum and maybe introducing that into the schools, if there is a school out there listening going, you know what, this is something that we do need to do, and this is something we want to start, how can they go about getting more information?
It's a long process. It's not something that's just simply we just put it in, right? Our teachers are fantastic and they've got a lot on their plate. So we totally understand that portion. But for parents and for students, when you go to your school trustees or you go to your faculty and say, this is important to me, because if you look out at the diverse population of our schools, people want to know about where they came from, or people want to know where their friends came from, or what the background they have in the culture. And sometimes it's also a way to disseminate some of the racial tensions that we have within our society when you know where people come from and you know what their background is and how we got here and what we can do to change the future, because it starts with our young people. So if we start having those conversations in schools, then we have a better possibility of changing and molding a better future.
Yeah, moving forward in the future, it's generation after generation after generation, they continue. And then before you know it,
Well, these
everybody
young people are
educated.
fantastic. Young people are fantastic and they have so much heart and so much positivity going into the future, and they're the voice of change. So they're important to touch with them right now while we have the opportunity.
Definitely. Now, Black History Manitoba has a lot of resources on their website, on your website. Tell us a little bit more about that, and if people are interested in finding out more information.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, we have a lot of partners and a lot of supporters and allies, and they want to make sure that they're able to share that information. So if you go onto our website, we've got resources from the government of Manitoba because they're a great supporter, and most of our programming we can't do without them. So they've got resources if you click onto the links, and you can go right to their website and get information there. We also have a list of books for parents and for students and teachers if they want to read up on history. There's a lot of information there. And we just have the history of Black History Manitoba, who we are and what we do and how we do what we do. The folks that help us get all of these things organized are supporters. So bhmwinnipeg.com is where you go. And if there's something on that site that you can't find or you're looking for information, you can always send us a message directly and we'll be able to help as much as we possibly can. And obviously, there's volunteers, so we do as best as we can. But we want to be able to have a hub where people can go to ask questions, feel safe, and we can engage with us.
For sure. Thank you so much, Nadia, for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for reaching out